high if you show me your okay.
I bought my family so many ornaments for Christmas.
You brought ornaments?
I didn't bring ornaments.
Oh.
I bought ornaments for
Like
my
what?
family.
List ornaments, please.
So many. I bought MST3K ornaments for my brother. I got a little Velociraptor with a Christmas hat. I got Will a Gremlins ornament. I got myself a Freddie Mercury ornament. I got my dad.
Wait. What is the Freddie Mercury ornament,
It's
please?
just him going.
So it's a full figure.
Yes, full figure.
Yeah,
full
with
figure
a mic
Freddie.
stand?
Yes.
Oh, wait, but he used to have the wand, didn't he? He had the mic wand, didn't he?
This one's on the stand.
Okay, but I think later career, he moved into a wand.
Yeah.
Which is pretty chill.
Yeah,
For a rock star, that's pretty chill.
He's a pretty chill guy.
Yeah. What tree are you hanging them on? Just
my family gets a real tree every year back at home.
Yeah.
It smells amazing.
do they buy one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They buy one, but yeah, we have our ornaments are very sentimental. Like when we put them on, they all, we have something from each stage of our life or whatever. And I was like, you know what? We're adults now. We need to re-up on the ornament.
Oh, you wanted to go more in on
Yeah. So I'm like,
that's
okay.
the opposite of how the old Ganser clan went.
Really? You guys went whoop.
Well, my mom still gets us ornaments.
Right.
I just never once had a tree. Never one time had a tree. And I never will because you see how I treat plants.
Yeah, that's true, actually. They're hard to take care
plant
of.
Graveyard in here.
We were discussing that as I walked in. Adam was like, you may notice the new plant, the old plant, is gone.
That also was my mother's attempt to fix things.
Oh.
Soon to be a failure. Trust me. Look at it. You can see it's brown leaves.
A little bit, yeah.
There's a couple.
Yeah.
It has light. I give it water. What the fuck else does it want?
You know what? Sometimes they just need that thing that you can't, it's like...
That unquantifiable.
The unquantifiable.
The je ne sais quoi.
Yeah. And if it's just not there, they off themselves, so...
Yeah, right. This is plant suicide. It's a very slow, mocking process, it turns out.
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing it.
Yeah, I'm a witness to it.
Yeah, you notice I switched out for a good plant up there.
Oh, you did.
I did.
That's a good
and
going.
I did it because it was like, there's a chance people might see these plants.
Right.
And this is a real humiliation. It can't just be Maggie.
I can't let people know that.
Yeah.
Well,
You can't.
I know.
Also, I guess our patrons should know we're breaking quarantine right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But both of us are severely isolated.
Yes.
Severely
isolated.
Yes.
We've basically been in each other's pod since like the Little Life pod since May. So please don't fret that we're cavalier with our bodies. We're not.
I have not gotten a haircut. I was talking on Twitter today. I've been cutting my own hair for months and months, and you may notice it's all a little uneven right now. It probably looks great. You probably can't tell.
You
but
always come in with a glow, so I can never really criticize. Thank you for the flopping helps.
Yeah, I was like, okay, see, this side's a little bit shorter than this side.
I actually can't really tell.
Right.
You might notice my beard has grown every direction.
It's really
going every direction now.
Yeah, but I like your beard. It's nice and
it's real thick now.
fluff
Yeah,
turf.
Fluff turf.
Fluff turf.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what I'm putting on Hinge. I think.
Okay, great.
Putting that right on Hinge.
They're like fluff turf.
You say this is the app that wants to be deleted, huh? Let me speed that along, my friend.
Yeah.
Fluff turf.
I'll make that decision for you.
Wow. What a great intro. How you been, Mags?
Oh man, pretty great. I mean, all things considered, yeah. Pretty great. Made gingerbread cookies.
I heard about those.
Yes, I was supposed to bring some to Adam.
That's okay.
And I didn't.
I think just being thought of is a lot, honestly. I really do.
Yeah. I made a cat one for you, and then Will made a Chewbacca. So
Will also made me one?
Yeah.
That actually just warmed my heart.
I know.
It really did.
Yeah. Well,
That's so nice.
Oh, I was coming over, and Will was like, "Well, you got to make one for Adam." And I was like,
That's great.
Oh, of course. And then I forgot that.
Will texted me a picture of the cat on his shoulder with the title, Maggie said you would want this.
Yeah.
You were correct. I did want that. Yeah.
I was like, oh, send that to Adam. Oh, he'll love it.
I did want it. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed that. So you guys are surviving?
We're surviving. Yeah. I mean, like, at this point, we're still debating. Will's parents are within driving distance, and we can do it without stopping.
Oh.
So we're considering it.
Yeah.
But, and I don't want to advocate for that because it's not good.
Are you considering stopping, like going over, or are you considering what, doing a drive-by? What's the...
We don't know yet. We might do a drive-by and then just come back because that's the safest, but it'd be nice to do something. Leave the house.
This is probably going to be our Christmas episode.
Probably.
And the thing
Very
that's...
fucking Christmas.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So some of you probably are really confronting... I mean, I know I am. Are confronting the fact that, like, you're probably not going to see your family this year.
Yeah.
And hey, man, it sucks.
It sucks.
Like, some of you, maybe that's a great reprieve, and thank COVID for that, I guess. But some of you, it's going to be a real bummer, and just know, hey, man, I'm sorry. I know it sucks. I feel bad for you and for myself, who also feels that way. So does Max.
Yeah, Christmas is the one time a year I see my family every year. So.
Are you guys going to have a teleconference or something, or what?
Yeah. I'm sure my dad always makes a big Christmas breakfast, so I'm sure we'll Zoom or something over
over your bagels or whatever.
Bagels.
Yeah, my mom is pretty bummed.
Is she?
My mom does this thing when she's bummed where she just gets very informational. She just really withdraws.
Oh, mama.
Yeah, I know. And see, now this is one of the great things about my parents. My mom kind of put it in my core. It was just sort of whatever you want to do, this is how we want to do it. We want to get together, Right. And I was like, yeah, I mean, if we could do an outside thing with masks on, maybe even that would be technically a crime, but it's one I would commit probably.
Yeah.
And then the lockdowns got enforced, and it was even that's not really possible. So not going to see them. So guess what they're going to do?
What?
They're going to drop off a stocking. She insisted on that.
Oh, that's really cute.
You're going to hear a lot about my mom today.
Good.
Yeah, you're going to like that. You're going to hear a lot about my mom today.
Good.
Yeah.
You'll hear a lot about my mom today, too. Today is Christmas Mom Day.
Because that's what family movies are about.
Yeah.
You're about, exactly. That's what I realized when I was watching the movie that I sent you.
Oh, interesting.
Was this is really my mom's movie.
As I was watching, I was like, this is an interesting family movie. Because mine's a broader
Yes,
it's
it
more,
was.
Yeah. But
interesting. I don't want to get too far ahead. So you're doing good, though. You're surviving.
Yeah, we're doing good. Cats are great.
You just made a 50-minute video.
I made a 50-minute video.
That was a hell of an enterprise.
Wasn't it not?
Yeah.
Yesterday, I felt very brain dead, and I was like, why can't I why can't I write? And I was like, I just kind of finished a really long project that I am spent. I'm glad to be done with it, but I'm glad how it turned out. So
it turned out great. These things are, you and Cody both are turning your like short little narrative thought essays into careers. Like each video is a career, like or a grad paper.
It feels like it feels very much like thesis paper
100%.
type. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, you've taken the mantle of cracked on yourself.
I did.
That's great.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
You loved it.
I did, yeah.
They're good videos.
They're good videos. And they do, they teach me to be a better writer. As I'm looking at other work, it makes me all the more better. And I can, see the difference in my own writing and in my own work. It's
I also can see the difference in your writing.
Aw.
Yeah, it's better.
Nice. Thank you, man.
They're getting better. Yeah. For real.
Yeah.
You and I have been actually doing a lot of writing exchanges these last few months
we
anyway.
Have. Mm-hmm.
So it's fun.
It's really fun.
Yeah, it's fun for you.
Yeah.
By which I meant it's fun to see where you're going with things. Yeah.
Well,
oh, I know. It's too much already. We got to talk about our families.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Well, how have you been, Adam?
Take the sugar count out of here.
I forgot the cookies.
How have I been? I've been good, man.
Yeah.
I had a treatment that's into a manager, so actually it was 3 treatments. You read one of them.
Oh, okay. I did read one of them. I like that one a lot.
It was very kind of you. Another one was with Cody that I think that one has a shot at being interesting to people. We'll see. So it's just nice to have a thing out. I'm still cracking away at some other scripts. And so the last couple months I've had this sort of sprung on me at work, but it's a good thing. And that is I've been asked to sort of mentor some students.
Oh, that's right. I think you mentioned it when I was leaving last time. Yeah.
So what that means is they basically like hang out with me once a week, and I decide what makes that anything.
Yeah.
So like, you know, like, and like at the end of the month, it's like, you know, did they do what you asked them to do? It's just pretty good. It's kind of everything you want when you get into an education.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's individualized, and it's very like, okay, we're going to talk about you, and we're going to talk about what you like to do. And I'm not going to give you general insight. I'm going to give you a really specific insight.
Right.
So like, you know, and that's very rewarding. And also they wanted you. That's why it was me.
Aww,
which is very sweet. Yeah.
That is really sweet.
So it's a lot of script reading.
Yeah.
Like, so I read their scripts and I do the thing that you've seen me do. And they still say thank you, which is very surprising.
As they should.
No, but so like I'm sort of infamous for being tough with notes.
Sure.
A little infamous. More so in school even than you've seen probably.
I believe that. Yeah.
And yet there's a certain kind of person who like that's really going to help. And then there's a certain kind of person that's not going to help.
Right,
and those people do not get mentored by me.
Yeah. But, you know. Yeah.
And that's fine. Yeah. So that's been really fun. I got all those video game things that I told you were happening. They're all here, and so that's all I do in my free time now.
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
It's very amazing. it's
very
like,
amazing.
thank God this is here. We have some producers.
We do.
We have some wonderful bosses we need to
some
thank.
wonderful bosses.
You want to start, and maybe I'll finish it up, and
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go a little bit faster because I feel bad commenting on every name.
you listened back and you were like, that's like 15 minutes on names.
I didn't listen back, but I made a mental note that I was like, I could do faster. Not because I don't love you though, everyone listening.
Every patron that has responded to the names has been grateful.
Good.
So know that at least the individuals themselves are pleased with what we're doing.
Okay. Maybe if I do a special episode one day, I will sing a Broadway style homage to all of you.
Wow, write that down.
All right, but until then, it's William, Jewel, Lito, Ramsey, Parnava, Agnes,
Parvenet, I believe it is.
Parvenet. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes,
Excuse
really,
my.
truly.
What's like a word like a barbaric tongue?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's good.
My
barbaric.
barbaric tongue.
Sure.
First, Normality.
That's an incredible name.
That's an incredible name.
What?
It's like the Fifth Element.
First
like,
Normality.
Wow.
What is this like? This is when the internet got conscious and it sprung it sprung right into our emails.
Subscribe to our
First Normality. Breach.
We have infiltrated the Maggie Adam dichotomy.
Greeting executed.
Flamosaur.
Wow. We got some new ones.
I know.
Really enjoying this.
This is awesome, guys. Liam Berkelium.
Yeah.
Burke.
Yeah.
Wow.
By the way, if anybody's offended by us butchering your name, feel free to send us a pronunciation
Please,
guide.
yeah,
We'll read it.
Yeah, these don't have it next to them, so I'm freewheeling.
Yeah.
And I might have undiagnosed dyslexia. So, not that there's an excuse for pronunciating.
This is your jazz right here. This is
my jazz. I've been jazzing my whole life through writing and reading.
You're like a named Charlie Parker. That's what you are.
Oh my God. I have just a flashback to me crying in the hallway because I couldn't tell apart B's and D's. And
crying in a hallway?
Yes.
What?
Because I'm put on the spot about what is a B and what is a D. They are the same.
Wow.
Except one is flipped one way, one's flipped
So
the
in
other
this
way.
scenario, the teacher says, "Here's a word for you, Maggie. Bed."
And I sobbed.
And sobbed there. And he's like, "Go to the hallway."
Well, the other one I remember distinctly was Maggie Cage. Cage, is it a J or a G? I don't know. I start bawling, crying. And they were like, out. Can you go handle yourself? Yeah. So that was where we were starting.
Well, I'm going to pick it up from here. That was wonderful. Jake Emery, thank you.
Woo.
Melissa, me. I gotta fix that. Christopher Williams.
Woo.
What a hero. Nathan Wells.
Wonderful.
that guy needs to. What are you, Nathan Wells? I'm intrigued by your name, sir.
Yeah, you feel
I
like
don't
an
know what-
Englishman.
Yeah, I don't
Nathan
know what
Wells.
joke arises, but it's something.
It's something.
It's something. It's like I don't know. Maybe
It's called the nebulous joke, where it's like
Yeah.
you know there should be one there,
there
but
should
it
be
hasn't
one.
come to
Like
one.
maybe you're a blacksmith. I don't know. Something.
Yeah.
Ryan. Just Ryan.
Ryan.
Timothy Chivalet. Great name.
Great name.
Jason Miller, sure. Loving it.
Love it.
Firewalker. This is your favorite.
That's my favorite.
Maggie's doing the weed face.
My favorite.
So please, be thanked.
Be
Richard R. Kaminsky, all caps. Have
Richard
you
R.
ever noticed
Kaminsky.
that?
I
Have we noted the
haven't.
all caps
I
before?
don't know, but it is all caps.
This guy's a private eye.
Yeah.
That's what we got here.
Or you need to shout into the mic every time you say his name.
Well, I'm not gonna do that. But seriously, the reason I say private eye is, if you're a cop, you're trained to like fill out reports with all caps,
Oh, I didn't know
and
that.
a PI is like former cop usually.
Interesting.
Yeah. Also, PIs mostly get paid for affairs.
I did feel like that was
I had a friend
it.
who did it, and he was like, "That's what I do, man. I just find people that cheat."
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's a dude. We should talk about him sometime. He's an interesting dude.
Absolutely, I would love to.
All right, and rounding out third on this particular batch of
Great,
names,
great.
Mark Griffith.
Mark Griffith.
Mark Griffith.
Thank you for the park.
What a family man, right?
Family man, absolutely.
Yeah, 5 kids probably.
Absolutely. Minivan.
Got a wife, yeah.
Got a wife. But he does all the cooking.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, wife doesn't cook.
Yeah.
She's too busy at the stock market.
Yeah.
Right? I almost said stock mines, and then Like she's got a pickaxe.
that's a way to
being
look
like,
at
Here we go. Buy, sell. Okay, well, we're great, and we've done a great intro.
We're great. We've done a great job. Let's go.
Once again, we've hit our 20-minute mark, so we're ready to embark on the actual podcast.
Toot.
We're turning into My Favorite Murder.
That's
That's what they do. Well,
Sure.
we would enjoy the audience of My Favorite Murder. Let's just put it that way. That's what they do, though. It's like 20
Yeah.
minutes of yucks.
Yes.
So hope you like that.
Sorry, guys.
Or not sorry?
We're not sorry.
Yeah, I don't
this
know.
is our friend time.
It's true because we try to have it before when you get here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, let's just do the podcast because
Yeah.
otherwise we're going to spend all of it. Yeah. So today's episode was again introduced by you this time, Maggie.
Was it me? It was me.
Maggie's got all the
yeah.
ideas. She's an idea queen. I love it.
I love themes. I'm
You
a
do.
theme gal. Yeah.
I was surprised this one ever got through because you've pitched it a few
right,
times.
yeah.
But I realized it's because of Christmas. Smart.
Okay, that's smart.
Smart. That was very smart.
Yeah.
You loaded the ticket real
I
smart.
I did.
The idea here is family movie.
Family movie.
What is your family movie? And because it's your topic, I'm going to let you go first.
Oh, great. Well, my family movie, and actually we did watch it last Christmas as a family.
All together?
All together.
Okay.
The Ghost and Mr. Chicken.
Couldn't believe that this was your family movie.
Really?
Literally could not believe it.
Really?
Yeah, could not believe it.
Wow.
Because it's so old for a family of what must be your family's age.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's before your parents' time, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Right?
Yeah. Growing up, my mom was very much into my grandmother and
Of Mickey D's fame.
of Mickey D's fame.
Yeah.
Was very much into like old Hollywood. Like I would, when she would babysit me, I would devour like Shirley Temple, Three Stooges, The
Yep.
Monkees. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
all.
That's right.
That I would watch it all. And then at home, we watch. I've seen all of Gilligan's Island. I've seen all of the Brady Bunch. The staple. Like
You do have a real affinity for classic
I do.
media, like classic
Yeah.
movie content.
yes,
That's unusual for somebody your age.
it is.
Yes, it is. I
Yes.
teach people your age often.
That's right.
And you know what they've seen? Nothing. They've seen
Weird.
nothing.
Wow.
Yeah. Some of them had never seen The Matrix, a thing I showed in class and thought this will be a fan favorite. And they were like, oh, I've heard about this. I've never seen it. I'm like, The Matrix? But I couldn't believe it. I just could not believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't.
It's really much, my mom loved my mom loved Doris Day. So
Interesting.
growing up, whenever I was sick, we'd watch Doris Day movies.
Yeah.
And that grew into me when I was a little bit older. I loved Audrey Hepburn. So my mom loved Doris Day. I loved Audrey Hepburn. I do think that was part of me, my first the glitz and glam of
Old Hollywood.
yeah, old Hollywood or whatever. I just always found it very, interesting. And that was like the first type of media that I watched. So, Yes, so that kind of fits in line with why this movie, I guess. It fits in with especially the type of movies that my mom likes and picks out.
Can you summarize what the movie is for the audience?
Yes, so the movie stars Don Knotts.
Yes, that's very important.
That's very important.
That's really what it is.
It's a Don Knotts vehicle.
Yes.
Yes. So I guess it's, if it was gonna be a holiday movie, it's probably more of a Halloween.
Not probably, definitely. It's about a ghost. It's about a haunted mansion.
It's about a haunted mansion. Yeah. So there's they live in this small town, and he works at this newspaper, and he wants to be a real journalist, but he's just the print guy. So there's this famous haunted house that everyone in the town knows about, and it's going to be the 20th anniversary
of a murder there. It's haunted by people who were murdered there.
Yes.
The details of the murder are very vague.
Vague.
And this is the 20th anniversary of that murder.
Right. And there's all these ghost stories of you can hear someone playing the piano at night. And so the person who is in charge of the newspaper thinks it'll be fun to send Don Knotts, the most terrified chicken of the community, to spend the night in the haunted house.
Right.
Turns out when he spends the night, it's haunted, and he gets very scared.
And it's not actually haunted, right?
No.
It's all Scooby-Doo shit,
It's
right?
all Scooby-Doo shit. So basically, someone was framed for the murder, wanted to clear his name.
I thought the end was kind of confusing.
It is confusing.
I was like, wait, so was all this fake?
Yeah, it was fake because he didn't want anyone to buy the house or something. It was like a real estate thing.
Drive that. But I thought the guy who was sorry to bog everyone down with this. I thought the guy who was selling the house was actually the murderer. And so what he was trying to do was destroy it so the evidence was gone.
Oh, maybe that's
what I thought was happening.
Yeah.
And there was a guy who's basically the custodian of
he's the
the
one
newspaper who's kind of pulling all the strings in this story. He's kind of magically.
He's like a little Irishman. Oh, and he's the one who he tells the bosses you should send
Little Don Knotts. I forgot his name too.
Luther. You should send Luther to the house. And then the guy's like, you know what? We should send Luther to the house.
Right. Yeah, he's literally like a devil on the people's shoulder in this movie. You know who'd be good for that, don't you? Yeah. Very charming.
Very charming. And Don Knotts is his Don naughtiest throughout most of it. But, it's a really so many quotable lines.
I mean, really, there's quotable facial expressions more than anything else.
Yes,
It's if you like Don Knotts, he's in full form here.
He's in full form.
I always saw Don Knotts as sort of a side character, so it's kind of fun to see him this is his heyday.
Yeah.
He's the star. This is what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun to see what that meant. Because he's kind of a Jim Carrey precursor.
He is. It's very it's almost like that same model for a movie of how to put the absurdist side character in the main character slot. Yeah.
How could Curly be the star of a Stoogeless short?
Right.
Don Knotts is the recipe for that. Okay. Yeah. And you love it still.
I love it still. I think it's mostly for the nostalgia, but there are some performances. I think I've texted you this, but
I need to hear about this.
Yeah,
yes.
When Don Knotts is giving his speech in the park.
Right. So everyone needs to know, he not only does his report on the haunted house go well, he becomes an instant town hero because of his report, which of course means he has to give speeches, a thing Don Knotts should never have to do.
Yes.
Right? So he's getting up there, with all the courage of Mr. Rogers, basically.
Yes.
And all the skills of a Steve Martin performance, basically. And everything goes wrong. And it's amazing.
It's amazing. And it goes on for so long, just the way that editing went back then versus how it has to.
You mean how it didn't?
Yeah, how it didn't.
Right.
And how it has to now. That scene goes on for too long, but it's perfect
it's very funny.
Because it's just oh my God, and he cracks two political jokes, and the second one falls.
Yep.
And everyone just
So good.
stare. There's an audience reaction of no reaction that feels so like SpongeBobian.
It really does.
Like very like.
Yeah.
You know?
It tells you that like the things that are funny, there's some things that are funny that are always gonna be funny.
Yes.
People not responding when they should in a speech is very funny.
Very funny.
Also, they had a guy, if you don't mind me jumping in with just one
Go
observation.
ahead.
There was a guy whose whole job in this movie was to say, Adam, whatever. Like,
Attaboy, Luther!
Yeah, Attaboy, Luther. And it's
Yeah.
like very much an Adam Sandler joke. Like, in fact, it's the same joke of the water boy.
Yeah.
Like, same joke.
Yeah.
And so there's a line where the judge, because again, this movie becomes a court case about this news story that he writes.
Yeah.
And the judge lays down just regular rules, and then some guy from the back of the courtroom, Attaboy, judge!
There's so
It's amazing.
many. It's
Yeah.
amazing. You see so many like comedy blueprints basically
Yeah,
when you're watching
absolutely.
it. Like when you're it's basically just like, oh, this is that type of joke done in one of its rawest, purest forms.
It's sitcom writing, really. Like most of the funny bits are the same thing that would be funny if Joey was doing it from Friends.
Right, yeah.
Or like, I mean, an Arrested Development joke
Yes,
could be,
yes, yeah.
just not the same speed or content, but the
Right.
formula's there.
Formula's there.
Yeah.
So it's just for that reason I still love it because it feels.
I liked it for that too.
Yeah, it's like damn. This feels very like informative as a you know.
I don't know when the first movie comedy, like the earliest that I've watched, that's like a comedy.
Right.
It's probably like a Billy Wilder movie, maybe.
Oh yeah.
You know, but they're usually not just comedies.
Right.
This is just a comedy.
This is just a comedy.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
What's that Marilyn Monroe movie with Jack Lemmon and it's a
Some Like
famous
It
movie.
Hot?
Yes.
Okay,
When
yeah.
was that? That was in the 50s, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so that's
that was
probably
yeah.
it. Yeah. But close.
Close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close. Also, Don Knotts is like 42 in this movie.
I know, and the girl that he dates is like 26.
Get the hell out of here. That woman is not going to fall in love with Don Knotts.
I know. That's the most. That's the most outrageous part of it now. Watching it with a through a modern lens, it's like, okay. I mean, I appreciate how nice she is through
not
it.
a person.
Yeah, not a person.
Listen, Don Knotts is very likable. I have no doubt there are beautiful women across this great land.
Absolutely.
They could fall in love with him.
Yeah.
That one couldn't.
That woman couldn't.
No
she
chance.
was just on it. Like, yeah, that was like.
She had nothing to do.
Yeah,
she's just a pretty face in the movie,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. She was right to break up with the other guy. Like that made sense. But getting
Why
with
was
Don
she
Knotts.
with him?
Exactly.
And also, what was their relationship?
Isn't that weird?
That's really
Isn't
weird.
that weird?
Okay, so just so everyone understands, this is 1962.
1962.
So, like, this woman owns a cool car. That's the first thing
She owns
that
a cool
I
car.
really liked about it.
Yes.
And so, like, Don Knotts' character has a rival who's sort of a handsomer John Hamm kind of character, but an asshole.
Right. He's the writer at the.
Yeah, he's the writer at the newspaper. He's better than Don Knotts.
Yeah.
Which objectively he is.
Yes.
But he's also an asshole,
Yeah.
right? Like needlessly mean.
Right.
And so he has this strange relationship with this woman where he, like, when we meet her, she says hi to Luther, and Luther has the, hilarious Don Knotts. I can't, goofy, I don't know how to talk to a woman thing. And it was funny. And then this guy just kind of hops in the car and they take off.
Yeah, it's like, what?
And it's like, so she's with this guy, right? And then
Right.
later, she's like, no, I do want to go out with you, Luther. And like pretty forward.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And he's like, well, what about the other guy? And she's like, oh, he doesn't own me, not like people say. And I'm like, well, you know why they're saying it? Because you're walking around and letting them do it.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Like, yeah.
It did feel, and one of the things I do like about it is it does feel very like small towny and a like
Super small towny.
super small,
Yeah.
and they play into it like with the women cult, like they're holding
oh
a
my
cult.
God,
They're
the cult.
Oh.
Okay, there's a cult
great.
full of people who like they worship spiritual entities.
Yes.
And it's like it's literally a cult.
Yes.
And by not a cult, it's literally a cult.
A cult,
So
yes.
OCCULT.
Yes.
Like, and they like are interested in it. They pray to it and
They
stuff.
pray to it. They back up Luther because they think that he uncovered like actual ghosts.
This is middle America. Like Kansas in 1962, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, we're a cult."
Oh yeah, we're a cult.
And everyone's like, "Sure."
Yeah, and the mayor is the cult leader's
Right.
husband, and she like bullies him.
Right.
And it's So all those small details I love. It's like
They're so
it.
weird.
It's weird.
It's really incomprehensible in a way.
Yeah.
Okay, so now tell me how your family uses this movie in your rituals, you know?
Yeah, so my whole family is a very much movie family. My dad has a much more like academic love of movies, and I think that's,
That makes so much sense.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and my dad is also very, very emotional. Like,
that also makes sense to me.
Like, so many of my early memories were me and him crying during movies that we were just, like, touched by my mom going like, oh my God, like,
this is so good.
Okay.
I'm loving this so much.
But so my dad and I have a very like love for film.
Yeah. He probably loved Don Knotts, didn't he?
My dad?
Yeah, he probably loved him, right?
Yeah, but
he didn't love him that much.
I mean, he does, but he's much more like, he loves Lord of the Rings. He loves like The Godfather. Like he would sit me down and be like, this is an important movie.
Good
this is a good movie.
This is good.
Yeah, this is good. And like that type of thing.
I see.
My mom is very much the opposite. Does not cry during movies. Loves making fun of movies during movies.
Wow.
She's like she's the comedy person in my family.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, and does she love movies, would you say? Or is she like...
Yes.
Okay, so she loves them, but she doesn't react to them.
Right. She's
okay.
like, my father and I will be like touched by a movie, and like my mom will be like, okay.
She's listening to this podcast, right?
Yes.
I need to have a
Hi,
conversation
Mom.
with her.
Okay, cool.
I need to have I just need to know some things.
Right.
All right.
Well, I'll tell you. So her actual favorite movie is The Wizard of Oz.
Ooh,
yes,
that's an interesting
Yes,
pick.
that's her actual favorite movie, and her favorite bit, which is funny because she's actually always right, is when we're watching another movie, she'd be like, "They stole that from Wizard of Oz." And usually they fucking did, because it's such a landmark
This
movie.
bullshit. Yeah.
Yes.
This bullshit.
This
Got it
bullshit.
from Wizard of Oz.
That was from Wizard of Oz. When we watched The Lord of the Rings, when the hobbits are hiding behind the, whatever, she's like, that's Lord of the Rings, when they're hiding, or that's the Wizard of Oz, when they're hiding from the...
So she's just not willing to let another movie have anything from Wizard of Oz.
Oh, yeah.
You can't have that.
You can't
Wizard
have
of
it.
Oz already has it.
It's her favorite bit.
That's such a good bit.
It's such a great bit, and it is also doubly funny because, like I said, she's usually right. It's like, actually,
It's so good.
That is not a Wizard of Oz. So yeah, her love is much more like comedy and like Hollywood classic movies.
And the reaction to her behavior in a movie is to enjoy her point of view.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great. This is a big difference between the fish and the Gansers. That sort of behavior would not fly at a
Would not
Ganser
fly.
home. Yeah, okay.
Would not fly.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, so like that's the lens that, we watch movies through. It's either we're watching something very important and we're all, very like, this is a big, this is an important movie, or it's we're watching something and we're laughing at it and, my mom is cracking jokes through it.
That's great.
Yeah. So this is the movie that like, my mom loves this movie. She watched it when, she was younger. But yeah, it's kind of like our family, like comedy movie that we watched when we were kids.
How many times have you seen it?
Oh man, probably like 20
That's a lot.
times.
That's a lot
yeah.
on this movie, I would say.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Okay. And does your family still like, do you sort of like ritualistically enjoy Don Knotts' shtick still? Like, is it like that kind of thing where you're watching his thing that he does and you're...
I think so. Well, part of his performance is so energetic that it
really
kind of
is.
it drives the whole thing, and it's almost such like an easy watch because it's just like it's like him just him like basically being a pinball machine.
He does kind of float through the movie. That's totally true.
Yeah. And again, like the lines are so quotable, like the used Miami, all the different weird like side characters.
I think Don Knotts is very like transfixing in this movie because like, see, I'm used to thinking of him as like Mr. Farley. Like that's sort of how I know him as Mr. Farley, really, and like all those bits, which is not when he was like really committed to the bit the same way.
Yeah,
he is so committed to these every little thing he does, and you know what it's like? It's like Kramer. It's like Kramer from Seinfeld.
Exactly. It's like every single part of his body is being utilized while he's on camera.
He's a Kramer precursor. Like, he's not cool like Kramer. See,
Right.
that's the thing that Michael Richards brought to that character.
Yeah.
But, like, at least at once upon a time he did.
Right.
But, like, Don Knotts' energy and, like, just the intensity that he does things is, I just think it's really transfixing.
Yeah.
Like, what do you even do with a talent like that? I don't even, like, it's so cool that movies found him.
I know.
Right?
It's so weird. Yeah.
What would he be without movies?
And this, like, a movie like this couldn't exist without him. And that's why it's like a vehicle for him, because it is like a symbiotic relationship of.
Like, you couldn't put Jimmy Stewart in this movie.
No.
You know,
No,
and
it'd be
that's the kind
like,
of person who would be in a movie like this.
Yeah, yeah.
He couldn't, it's not a movie with that.
Right. And it wouldn't be funny. It would just be like.
It'd be like, what is this dumb movie? You know,
right.
like,
I guess
he wants to be a
ghosts,
reporter.
It's not ghosts. All right. Okay.
But it really is Scooby-Doo without the dog.
Yeah.
You know, like, it really is that.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah, so this is, I mean, it comes from my mom's. Like, these are the type of movies that, like, my mom would pick out.
And who gets to pick? Who gets to pick what movie you watch at Christmas or whatever?
It's usually unanimous. We were known when we used to, like, go rent movies.
Yeah.
Spending an hour and a half picking out, like,
so it's
the
a debate.
great movie. Yeah, it's a debate, a friendly debate. You know, it's very much the way that, like, Will and I pick out movies now, kind of.
How do you pick them out now?
Well, one of us will be like, actually, there's a movie that I, or someone suggested to me, you want to watch. Well, now we watch trailers of movies and then we pick
As
out
part of it.
Yeah.
Okay. And what if you both vote for a different thing? How do you resolve it?
Which is one goes first and the other one
So you
we'll
watch
watch it
them both?
tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we end up watching everything.
My brother and I have an elaborate ritual, which we've discussed.
Yeah, which we've discussed. That's a great ritual.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
That's very sweet. And so when you watch it now as a family, like, what happens after that movie? You watch the movie, then what happens? Is it just like, well, we watched it?
I mean, yeah, we'd probably put on another. I mean, we probably watch, like, a Mystery Science Theater, and then my dad would make a charcuterie board.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's sort of a marathon. Like, you guys watch them on, like, movies on marathon, kind of. Okay.
Yeah. We're, and the thing is, like, I've seen a lot of movies.
Yes, you
but
have.
My family has also seen a lot of movies.
It's becoming clear to me.
Yeah.
Because I would say this is a really obscure movie.
Interesting.
Like, it's not obscure enough that, like, it doesn't exist.
Right.
But it's really obscure, like, for a family favorite. It's pretty obscure.
That's a good point. I grew up thinking that everyone had seen all these classic
Nope.
Hollywood movies.
Never
because,
seen this before.
Yeah.
This is my first watch.
Interesting.
Yeah. This is probably the 10th movie you've picked that's been my first watch.
Wow.
Maybe not 10th, but a lot. A lot of movies have been my first one. Because you're very seasoned in classic movies.
I am. Yeah.
That's fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you mind if I thank some more producers? I think
Let's
it's time,
go
right?
for it.
All right.
Nar. Dude, Nar. Sick.
You've been doing a surfer thing, and I've really liked it. Just so everybody knows, we do love you all enough to do a joke, but we don't have a lot of time.
Yes.
So jokes are going to happen.
Yeah,
And
maybe
the
for
rest of
bonus
you-
episodes, we'll let ourselves get a little looser.
Yeah, because we're going to
But-
record one of those today.
Yeah, let's do that.
Get ready for some thank yous. Thank you for that face. No, don't apologize. I said thank you.
There's a face that I'm not allowed to make for Will because it creeps him out
I'd
so
like
much.
to see it, please.
That is,
I know why.
Yeah,
I understand why.
I don't
You kind of
blame
made your
Will.
face look like
A sheep?
Look like no.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Look like the bear costume from The Shining.
Yeah,
Like a little bit like the bear
yeah,
costume
yeah.
it's got a weird mouth like that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Stephen Asarian, thank you.
Thank you.
Thomas Howard, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Keep on composing those not quite as good
You're not
as the
good
other
as-
Howards
yeah.
music, but still pretty good.
Yeah.
Michael J. Hudson.
Woo.
Whew, start a firm. That guy needs a firm, right?
Absolutely.
Get some lawyers under that man. Nicholas Fabian. I think he's my
Romance
favorite.
novel.
I think so.
Yeah.
Romance novel. That's a good one. Because we've given him a cape so far. We've given him a
right.
cane. Because
Yeah,
a cane with the
cane.
cape. Yeah, now he's a romance novel.
Yeah.
Nicholas Fabian, we're really making a life for you.
Yeah.
Norm from Cheers. My God, you're beautiful.
You are beautiful.
You ever know what happened to his wife?
No.
I don't either. Yeah, I'm curious.
Okay, we'll look it up later.
Curious. Yeah, I might. Would you like to take over?
Sure. Vincent, not Price, because he married his cousin.
Oh, thank you for that detail.
Giuliani. Did you know this?
Yes, I did. I'd heard it before. Yeah.
I did not know that.
It was one of his early scandals.
That's wild.
Basically, we only know who he is because he took down the mob. If it wasn't for that, we wouldn't know who he was. Wow. Yeah.
Well, anyways, but yeah, also Vincent Price.
Vincent Price, great.
Rom Lico Grady.
That is an amazing name.
That is an amazing
Rom
name.
Lico Grady.
The name Rom, that's a great name.
The middle name Lico. Everything about this name is transfixing me.
Transfixing.
It's like one of those 3D pictures. I keep looking at it, hoping there's a dolphin in it or something. You know.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Dave Yannetti, not my Yeti. Yannetti.
Yannetti.
Adam Duncan. Cody Adric Harper.
I like to think that it's Cody Adric, as in like a description of the kind of Cody that it is.
Oh, right. Yeah. Cody Adric.
Right. This is the type of Cody we have.
Right.
It's an Adric Cody.
Mark Child. I recognize the name.
I think you butchered that. I think it's Mark.
Mark.
I don't know. Larry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Patrick Tillett.
Woo.
What a name. Beautiful name. Oh, I'm going to let you do this one.
I didn't mean to jump ahead, but Christopher Zappanini.
Zapatini. If he doesn't own a laser quest or something, what's he doing with his life?
Yeah, or name a martini after
laser
yourself.
tag. That's what he should be, a laser tag guy.
Yeah.
Zapatini.
Change your life.
Zapatini's Laser Quest.
Zapatini's Laser Quest.
That sounds like a B movie or a fun afternoon. Either way.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'll do this one.
Okay.
Josh Tillis, I believe. Thank you.
Thank you.
James Duncan Pfeiffer.
Viper.
Okay. Tromo.
Tromo movies.
Do you think it could? Well, first of all, Tromo could be an excellent robot. Also, it could be Tony Romo, the former quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh my God! If it is, tell me.
If it is, let her know.
Yeah.
You won't care.
Yeah, I don't
won't make you care.
It doesn't bleep anything on my radar, but
it bleeps something on my radar.
Yeah.
I know about Tony. We'll save a few more of these, but I'll finish up with Jason Pittman.
Jason Pittman.
Yeah, he seems great.
Yeah,
he seems great. What a wonderful
Pittman.
crew we got so far.
Dan O'Brien is one of our. I sneaked down.
Who?
Dan O'Brien.
Is that really Dan?
I don't know. It might be someone who put their name as Dan O'Brien.
I don't think so, because it's with an E. I think Daniel Bryan is with an A. Am I wrong? If that's Dan, hey man, thanks.
And if not,
imposter! If not, get out!
Get out!
Anyway, well, oh my God, there's so many more names.
I know.
I butchered this. Oh no,
That's
we need to
okay.
thank more people.
Okay.
I apologize.
No worries.
Look at all you. God,
I know.
You're such beautiful people.
Wow.
So few of them yet have suggested topics.
Yeah, you guys can suggest topics. That's
Please
why
do. We don't
you're
want to
our
work this hard.
producers. Yeah. We don't want to work.
It's not true. It's really easy for us to think of topics.
Yeah.
But I do find the producer submitted ones perform much better.
Do they?
In terms of getting voted for, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
After we've given them our shine.
You and I are chumps.
Well, yeah, we're just voice boxes for their will.
Yeah,
That's all we are. Kyle Sargent.
Thank you, Kyle.
Welcome. Gilbert Schmidt.
Thank you, Gilbert.
That guy should have a comic strip.
Absolutely.
Eliotron.
Also a
robots
robot.
making their way. Yeah, I like it. Jessica M.
Oh, thank you, Jessica.
So pleasant. Ryan Forbes.
Millionaire.
Because Forbes.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
all.
that's all.
You inherited money with that name.
Yeah.
Grace Davis.
Thank you, Grace.
Classic, like a classic
Grace
actress, but
Davis.
a ghost now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Grace.
Ghost
You're
supporter.
A ghost.
Yeah, I kind of was happy though. Ghost supporter.
Oh, okay.
Maggie wasn't into that. Charles Lanahan. Jonathan Tan Nguyen.
Thank you.
I think I did okay with that.
Yeah?
Maybe just a couple more names and then we'll save the rest.
Great.
So I'll do that. Christian Kavanaugh.
I wasn't sure.
Thank you, Christian Kavanaugh. Sean Lorenzen.
Thank you, Sean.
Noted nuance. One word. Oh, yeah.
Noted.
I'm going to think about that.
Yeah.
Timothy Schreiner.
Thank you, Timothy Schreiner.
Yeah, this guy belongs in like Bartleby or something, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
bottles his own beer.
Oh, yeah. Schreiner. Shriner's Ale.
Oh! Okay. Quit your day job.
Fix your life, buddy. Shriner's Ale. And he's doing it in his garage.
Yeah, absolutely.
His wife's not happy about it.
No.
But he thinks one day he'll make some money. Then his wife will be plenty happy.
Right. And he just making his own labels. Like, come on, just support him.
Oh, yeah. He's got his own labels.
Yeah.
Shriner. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I might drink some of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to
Great.
my movie, if you
Your
don't mind.
movie.
So my movie, I'm sure it surprised you what it was.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
My movie is 1992's The Cutting Edge.
Which, when I first got it, I was under the impression that it was a Disney Channel original movie, which it's not.
No, it's not.
It was not.
It was a major motion picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a major motion
Interesting.
picture.
You could have fooled me. It seemed like a Disney Channel original movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's not well made.
Yeah.
It's I would say in everything but one or two very important things, it's a bad movie. But the important things, it is an incredible movie.
It's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
I would call this movie the most rom-com of
It's
any movie I've ever seen.
Rom-com to
Yes.
the max.
It's the Pamchenko for the rom-com. if you will.
Yes. Yes. They were like, you know what? We're gonna write the Rosetta Stone
Yes.
of rom-coms.
Yes. It's not When Harry Met Sally, which I think is what most people think of when they think of like
Right.
the most special of the genre.
Yeah.
This is the feelings of the genre amped to 100.
Yeah.
It's so good for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it stars Moira Kelly, who I love. I absolutely
I love
love
Moira
her.
Kelly. Excuse me. I love One Tree Hill.
Okay, great. Oh, so you had an opinion about her.
Oh, I have an opinion.
Oh, great. I'm so happy.
Yes.
I'm so happy to hear
Yes,
that.
yes.
Because going back and rewatching it this afternoon, she made me tear up many times.
She's incredible. And
She's so good in this
she's
movie.
incredible.
Yeah.
She's
Just
incredible.
what an asshole, but
Yeah.
also how delightful she
Right?
is.
And it's like they're both assholes in a very
Yes.
equally way that
Yes.
it's like, it almost like, it's like, yeah.
It's a well cast movie.
Yes.
It's not a well directed
Except
movie.
I don't like the guy. I don't know his
J.B.
name.
Sweeney?
Yeah, I don't like him that
I know you
much.
don't like him.
But I can
I get
see, I get it.
He's not as good an actor as her by a wide mile.
I think really she kind of blows
Yeah.
him out of the water.
Oh, she's much better.
Yeah.
His whole thing to me is sort of being like a likable everyman. Like he's sort of a rom-com Bruce
Yes.
Willis, you know?
Yeah.
But he's not as good as her or as Bruce Willis. He's a little more flawed. And I think also the movie made a really crucial decision that's important, which is he falls in love with her pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And he never admits to it because he's an East Coast,
he's
hard
an
boiled
accent,
type.
right? It's like Boston.
Oh yeah,
But-
he's a
yeah.
macho guy, right?
Yeah.
So just to give everyone
He doesn't like this ice skating shit.
Oh my god. I forgot all about that scene, and it was amazing. Okay, so I'm going to give a summary of the movie for
Great.
everybody. So, this is the story of a failed figure skater, Moira Kelly, whose dad, by the way, is Locke from Lost.
Yes!
I know
yes!
it. Could you believe that?
I was like,
when is the fucking smoke monster showing up in this movie?
know.
He's great in this, by
He's
the way.
great.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
very good. Anyway, so she's very wealthy. Like her dad is some kind of trillionaire.
Yeah.
And she is a very difficult person. And by difficult, I mean just very demanding and uncompromising.
Yeah,
And
they can't work
unkind.
with other people well.
She's civilized but unkind.
Yes.
And so like the Beast from Beauty and the Beast.
Yes,
you know?
yeah.
And so they need a new partner because she's a figure skater in doubles, right? She can't go solo for reasons that are unclear.
Yeah, they kind of just
So
like.
meanwhile, yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, J.B. Sweeney is a hockey player, an Olympic hockey player.
An Olympic hockey player.
Who loses part of his vision by being checked and therefore his professional career.
Right.
And so he's just like down in the dumps. And so because they've run out of figure skaters, they give him a try.
Yeah.
He's a great skater, but could he be a figure skater?
They let the coach goes to
The Russian coach.
The Russian coach.
Yes, amazing.
Goes to the construction site.
To a construction site where he's working, still hoping the Red Wings are going to hire him. They're not, obviously.
They're not.
Yeah, they're not. So Russian coach goes, I am coach. He comes up with, I am coach.
I'm coach.
Yeah. And then basically they hire him. And so what ensues is these two people who neither of them want to be there.
Right. I loved that he did it for money because that's so
Yeah,
relatable.
he did it for money.
It's like,
Totally.
absolutely, he needs a job.
He did it for money, but so I want to come back to that
Right,
because
yes.
that's really important.
Right.
So basically they pay him to try out. She hates his guts. He hates her guts, but he's also like, well, you can't kick me out. I'm too good, right? So then out of spite, they end up sort of working well together. And then, of course, they fall in love.
Right.
All the while, they're inching closer to being in the Olympics.
Right.
And inching closer
all
to...
of that is amazing. Just like
It's
the
all
setup.
so good.
The setup and just like, yeah.
It's not well shot either.
No.
I just want to be clear. This is not a well-directed movie. I'm not trying to be preachy. It just isn't.
It just really isn't.
But it's so rom-com and so good at that.
Yes.
The lines are all very, like the barbs they trade are really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
There was one where I was like, oh.
Yeah.
There's a
couple in here.
There's some good ones.
Especially right when they meet, they trade like 6 or 7 insults and they're all clutch.
Yeah.
Just clutch insults.
Yep.
So anyway, eventually they have to admit they're in love, and she has to break up with the fiance, and they have to do a special move in the Olympics. And one of the interesting parts of it is he starts to realize that he can kind of manipulate her by getting her angry into performing better. And so there's a little bit of a question of like, is he doing this to make her better because he's competitive? They're both very competitive.
Very competitive.
Or is it real? And then of course it culminates in one of the silliest but also best confessions of love ever.
Oh my God.
It happens. Like, I'm not spoiling this movie because if you don't know that a rom-com ends with them together, why are you watching movies?
Right.
I don't know how to help you. So, like, it ends with they're going to go on the ice to perform her last show because she's going to quit now. Classic rom-com.
Classic.
And it's the last show, by the way, is at the Olympics.
At the Olympics.
And they're competing for a medal against the Russians.
Yep.
The Russians
the stakes
are incredible.
Could not be higher.
Couldn't be higher. They're literally being summoned to the ice, right? And he's like, I love you. And she just like... has one of the greatest performances I've ever seen in a rom-com. Like, her tears are so amazing.
Amazing.
And, like, they do this ridiculous move that wins them the gold medal, and that's how the movie ends. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
Tell me how you felt about the movie, Maggie.
I mean, I loved watching it, and I'm so glad I watched it for basically all the reasons that we said. It is not well directed in any sort of imagination.
It's mostly montages.
It's so weird.
It's a lot of montages.
Yeah. And a lot of things like didn't need to be like I would watch it as a scene. Like I didn't need it to be.
Yeah.
And, you know, just a lot of odd decisions like that. But yeah, as a family movie, I was like, well, it's like family genre, which
you're gonna love this.
Okay, because I was watching it, I was like, I know why I thought this was a Disney Channel original movie, and quite honestly, I think Disney Channel original movies basically copy pasted this movie several times over for any of their
this was a
rom-com
template.
films.
Yeah,
yes.
this is a template.
This was a template that Disney was like, oh, don't mind if we do.
Right.
And all of those I consider, you know, like I would make sense as like a family movie.
Like, well,
but it is a rom-com.
I did not pick it because it was family-ish.
Okay.
I picked it because it was my family's movie, which was what the prompt was.
Yes.
My family movie. So we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Yes.
But like, I do think some credit has to be given to the movie for having kind of a good idea.
It's a great idea. Yeah,
this is again before the Nancy Kerrigan beating.
Yeah.
So like this is when we were so hyped on figure skating. Like, and also there's so many just 90s opinions about it.
Yeah.
Like the fact that it's a plot element that his brother might not support him for being in figure skating was like, wow, man, we've really changed.
Yeah. But also like I love the conceit of like, you're figure skating out. Like, or you know, just the whole conceit of it all is great. And like the layout of the movie is
the gender role stuff is really fascinating in this movie. Yeah. Because in a lot of ways it's very conservative, but in one very particular way it's not. And that's what makes this movie really interesting to me. And that is who she is.
Yeah.
She is such a self-empowered character.
She is,
an unblanching, unforgiving, uncompromising character that nobody can stand up to.
Yeah.
And like that's never really questioned.
Yeah.
They do say she's a bitch and they lay that out, right? That's the problem. She's a bitch. But it's not because she's too confident.
Right.
That's not why. It's because she's it's because she's like so driven to perform for her own reasons.
She needs to like flick off anything that isn't.
And more important, she's afraid of who she is.
Right,
which is what this is really. The movie's really about her discovering who she is.
Right.
Like, at its core.
Yeah, and not having the excuse of I'm a figure skater. It's like, no, what are you as a human?
Yeah, who
right
are you
outside
really?
Of that. Yeah,
what do you really want? Because her life is very much set up for her.
Yes.
And she never really decided it. And that's sort of classic rich woman problem.
Because her mom was a skater as well.
Yes.
Or they have like a thing where it's like...
They allude to it. There's actually some depth to this character that's sort of alluded to that is performed well.
Right.
But not brought to the surface much. I don't know. I kind of like that, actually.
Yeah. I mean, and especially for, like you're saying, it's a blueprint, clear.
100%.
It's like...
Well,
that,
it has a lot more heart than movies that have tried to do this formula since.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not well shot. That's a thing. Like, it's very clear they can't really skate. They can skate well enough, but they can't do figure skating.
Right.
They're not ready to do that.
Yeah.
And that's a problem for the movie, I would say. Okay, so why is this my family's movie?
So
let me just preface this and say I texted my brother and sister the lyrics to one song from one piece of this movie, and they instantly knew what movie it was from.
Oh my God.
That's how much we love this movie.
Whoa.
The Gansers don't watch movies together.
Interesting.
We don't really watch movies together. When we were kids, and by kids I mean from like age 10 to when I left that house, so 20 something. My parents had a room where they watched television, and we had a room where we watched television.
Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa.
So like literally had separate rooms. And I think the reason for that is that my parents, like, we had kind of like not small, but just like tightly contained houses, and I think they were just like, that's enough.
Yeah. Like, this is mom, dad time. Or,
and
like,
that's it.
Yes.
That was really it. Like, and they were very much like, you stay in that area.
Right.
We will go in our area.
Yeah.
You don't come here.
Right.
Like, those were rules. So, but one interesting thing they used to do is they would tape stuff for us. Aww. And like, we would watch things they taped for us. So like, I didn't grow up watching movies much. Whoa. I know. That's why I haven't seen anything.
Wow.
That's why I haven't seen anything. I didn't grow up watching movies. I grew up watching the 10 or 15 movies that they picked.
Right.
Until I went into until I went to Blockbuster and worked there.
Yeah.
So like, one of them that they picked was The Cutting Edge. Why? My mom loves it. My mom loves this movie. Loves it.
I like what you say about like her being an empowered character.
Yes.
She is. And like that is so rare in a rom-com.
I know.
For all its faults as like a 90 whatever,
many faults.
Is like that's so rare to see. Even now, modern rom-coms don't do as good of a job as depicting that type of woman.
Yeah.
Who I see every,
Yeah, because she feels like a real person.
Yeah.
Like, in the good sense, like she fits some of the things we would want a character to be, and some we really don't.
Yeah.
And I think that's some of the charm of the movie.
Yeah.
Now, my parents would pick, like, first of all, they recorded a lot of Christian stuff for us, right? So my
I was
brother.
gonna ask, like, what are some of the other movies that they did?
Thank you for asking, because there's only one that I could think of that could have rivaled this, and it was Top Gun.
Oh, okay.
Top Gun was another movie, but I was like, that's going to be weird for the holidays. So I didn't pick it.
Right.
But we could quote Top Gun backwards and forwards. I could still do it. It's
that's
like
cute.
And like we had Star Wars and like, stuff like, so I'm not saying they were against movies. They're not.
Right.
But they like but they picked movies they liked and that were also family friendly.
Right, yeah.
And so this was one that got through that sort of lens, The Cutting Edge. And I thought a lot about why did my mom like The Cutting Edge so much? My mom loves rom-coms. She also, she likes movies where the tension is low, does not like tense stuff. And I would say that's a little bit how she feels about life. Just sort of doesn't want it to be like really intense.
Right.
Kind of would rather like, let's keep it relaxed and have a good time.
Right.
And I think that's one of the things about this movie is like, it's kind of a good time the whole time.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
Here's what's really fascinating though. My mom is such a thoughtful and soft person. Not weak, but soft.
Right. Yeah.
And she would never embarrass or hurt anybody else. Why does she like Moira Kelly's character so much? My theory is Moira Kelly is what she actually feels like.
Ooh.
That's my theory.
Yeah.
My theory is that Moira Kelly it embodies how my mom and people like her feel.
Yeah.
And what they would do if they were not restrained by their sense of being, like how other people feel.
Yeah, that makes
You know,
sense.
like,
yeah.
and I think that's really fascinating because it's unconscious. You don't pick those things consciously.
Right.
It's like every filmmaker in film school will make a movie where they cast an actor who looks just like them.
Yeah.
Why? Because you're making your subconscious. Yeah. That's what you're doing. So like they made this tape, and my brother and sister and I have watched this movie 30 times. I don't know more. And it's not like we never watch movies as a family.
Right.
But that was not a thing we did.
Yeah.
We've done it more as adults. You know, like for instance, we watched Michael Clayton as a family like 5 years ago.
Yeah,
And it was great. I love Michael Clayton. Great movie.
Great movie. That was one of the first movies I saw that I was like, that's
an excellent movie.
An excellent movie,
Yes.
and I am aware enough to recognize it. Yeah.
Great movie.
Great movie.
But like, or we watched There Will Be Blood once as a family.
Interesting.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But my mom doesn't really connect to that stuff. Like she'll hang out, but she doesn't really
Right.
connect to it.
Yeah.
Cutting Edge is her movie.
Aww,
I know.
That's sweet.
Cutting Edge is her movie.
Yeah.
If my mom had her way, I would only make The Cutting Edge.
Oh, that's
It's the truth.
funny.
It's not a joke. It's the truth. She doesn't really like what I make. She wants me to make The Cutting Edge.
Right.
Because The Cutting Edge is a thing she likes and can understand.
Yeah.
Like I've sent her scripts, for instance.
Oh, yeah.
She doesn't like them. I brought her to screenings. I brought her to a USC screening. It was like my big film. She didn't like it. Wow. She didn't like it.
Did she tell you she didn't like it?
Not in those words.
Right.
In a very polite way, but she didn't like it.
Wow.
Because she once in a while just sort of leaks out like, I don't want you to do what you're doing. I want you to make The Cutting Edge.
Oh, man.
I know. Isn't that interesting?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Now, I don't know that my siblings know that she said those things. I think if they listen to this, which I hope they don't, if they listen to this, they might be like, oh, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I'm not saying anything negative about my mom. I'm just describing who she is.
Yes.
I understand why she wants that.
Right.
It's the same reason why I could never make The Cutting Edge.
Right. Yeah.
I could not make it.
Yeah.
It's not in me. But you know what is in me? It is in me to enjoy The Cutting Edge.
Yeah.
Like something about it really resonates for me because it's like, it's not just nostalgia. It's also like, yeah, that's a way most people like movies. And it's a way a lot of people want their lives to be, but I don't.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's also really funny.
It's funny.
Just toe pick. I could send
we
toe
were
pick.
texting toe pick.
I could text that to my mom immediately and she'd be like, oh, I missed that movie. She'd be like so into it. Yeah.
Aww.
She'd be so into it. Yeah, we didn't do family movies like that. Like our family was very, and it's also because, you know, being a Ganser means having like a really intense personality. That's how all of us are.
Yeah.
So I don't know how we could regularly sit together and watch a movie. That doesn't really feel like a thing we could do often.
Right.
We did watch Clueless once because
Oh, that's another one of our.
well, my sister really wanted to watch it because all of her friends had seen it.
Oh, yeah.
And my family and my dad was like, "We'll watch it as a family," which was sort of his way of saying, "We'll see what this Clueless is."
Yeah.
Right?
We'll see.
Yeah. I don't want to embarrass my sister by saying more, but that's one movie we watched as a family.
Oh,
Isn't that interesting?
That's interesting. That's one of Will's favorite movies.
Well, Clueless is great. Yeah.
Clueless is great,
I just
yeah.
remember the tension of watching that movie as a family. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Having watched like a lot of like very good movies, which often contain, I've seen a lot with my family.
Now here's an interesting contrast. My grandma, who passed on in 2006, she used to like take my siblings and I out a couple times a year, and all we would do is watch movies.
Wow.
Because my grandma loved movies, and that's my mom's mom.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Interesting.
So now you're getting it a little bit.
Yeah,
yeah.
And see, mine is a clear passing down. Like my grandma,
Nope. My mom did not pass the movie tradition down.
Interesting.
I don't think she never received it.
Right.
I think it represents to her sort of the life she didn't want to live.
Yeah.
I think that's what that's about. But my grandma, for instance, like she had quotes that come back to me once in a while, and it turns out they were from some movie. Like I'd be like, "Oh my God, that's from this movie. That's where she said that."
Oh my God!
Like she used to have a song she'd sing when we were sad. That was like, just this stupid song, and I sang it in front of my mom, and she was like, "Oh yeah," and she knew the song, and I was like, "Oh, did Grandma used to sing that for you?" She's like, "No, it's from," and she named the musical it was from, and I was like, "Oh, I've never seen that." Oh,
wow!
Well, my mom had seen it.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
The first time I had ever heard the word like screenplay was from my mom. Like
that's interesting.
Yeah, when she was young, probably like 24 or 25, she basically wrote like an outline for a like horror screenplay of like a
Really?
Yes. And like look, it's interesting because like a lot of the creative things I do, I for sure got it, from like my mom, but she's, she isn't an act, she isn't anything, but she also is all of those things. Like she's a writer.
Yeah.
She writes all the time. Like she is.
Right. It comes out of her being, but she never wanted to like make it a career.
Right.
Or monetize it or whatever.
Yeah.
Because that's ultimately what this is an expression of who you are as a human being. Because if it isn't that, you're in the wrong field.
Right. Yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, I probably got my thing from my mom's mom, I think, but I don't know.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
that was just like, I kind of forgot what it.
That's okay. No, I think that's an interesting, like, movies are very much like a way of looking at the world. I think that's why I love them so much.
Me too. You probably had the same thing, but like they're. Like through my teenage years, I would just go to the video store, rent movies, watch movies alone in my room. My mom got me a portable DVD player. That's where I watched like Brokeback Mountain and was like,
that was a great movie.
And just consume like so many like other people's perspectives. I saw like just through sitting and watching movies.
If this topic had been like sibling movie, then like I could tell you all kinds of stories about the times my brother and I went to the movies because we did that a lot. Or even my sister and I would sit and watch movies sometimes. Or just like
you should do sibling movies sometimes.
Because that's like
it's different.
Yeah, well, and also there's it becomes kind of a code language over time.
Yeah.
But yeah, as a family, movies were not valued in my house. They weren't forbidden, but like my grandma was always buying us movies.
Yeah.
But I probably had like 10. We probably owned 10 movies until I was like 25.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like just went, and now I have bookcases. Bookcases of movies. Right. So interesting, right?
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, that's the episode. So we should be thanking the rest of our producers. I'm going to try to remember who the last beautiful producer was that we... Oh, it was Timothy Triner.
Oh, it was Timothy Triner, of course.
Did you want to pick it up from there?
Sure. Thank you, Boyd Stephen Smith Jr.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Eric. Just Eric.
Yep.
Thank you, Eric Woodward.
Yeah,
Eric
different
Woodward.
Eric.
Different Eric.
Different Eric.
Unless
also
you
grateful.
split into two and one of you took your last name, the other one was like, I'm just free
who's
flowing.
the real Eric? That's a real scandal on this podcast.
Fight about it.
Yeah, please. And then send the video of that fight to Maggie so she can verify it.
And I'll verify this fight.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jim Avery.
Great.
Thank you, David Mowery.
I think that's right.
Yeah, that felt right. Yeah. Thank you, Chris. Just Chris. Thank you, Ryan Smith. Thank you, Ryan Smith. Thank you, Dan O'Brien.
If that's really him, just want to say, hey, buddy, isn't it interesting that here I am talking about rom-coms? Because the only rom-com I've ever made, and also the only thing from Crack my mom really liked,
was
rom.com.
Amazing.
That Dan O'Brien penned.
Oh, I'm glad your mom liked it. Matthew Moore. Thank you, Matthew Moore. Robots Crank. I was a Robert Crank.
So my favorite thing is that Maggie started that word, then realized what it really was, and got real excited about it. Robot Crank.
That's a literal robot, as opposed to just the robot suggestion name.
Yeah, you said that the way that Han Solo says Boba Fett in Return of the Jedi. Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
Frankly, Amish. What a beautiful person.
Thank you.
Etch.
Thanks. Itch.
Thank you, Etch. Glenn, Head Crash, Sudgen, NPC. Yes, sir.
You do use.
Thank you. David Shull, Peter Jones, thank you. Aaron
you.
Signs.
Thank you, Aaron.
Ooh. That's a novelist if I've ever seen one.
Yes.
Cake Meister. Maggie's favorite DJ. Andrew Duck.
Thanks.
That's an incredible name.
Yeah,
Andrew Duck.
Your last name is also an animal.
That's an amazing name.
It's an amazing
Andrew
name.
Duck.
Mr. Duck.
What if that guy was great at football? He's like that's our quarterback, Andrew Duck.
Andrew Duck.
Oh, that's amazing.
And the audience does that when he walks down on stage.
Oh yeah, like the Mighty Ducks. Mm-hmm. They just all quack in unison. Yeah,
I've
that
never
sounds
seen the
great.
Mighty Ducks.
Jim Jam Flim Flam.
Bam.
But Maggie loved that. Todd McKenna.
Thank you, Todd.
Charles Craven.
Wow. Thank you, Charles.
Grandson of Wes Craven.
Yeah.
Aspiring sound editor, let's say. Matthew Clark.
Thank you, Matthew.
Ben, thanks.
Thanks, Ben.
Chris, again.
Thanks, Chris.
Maybe second Chris, who knows? Vordaspin.
Spin.
Thank you, Vordaspin.
Thank you.
Ryan Bodish.
Thank you, Ryan Bodish.
I guess so the first Adam was not me. This is the Adam that's me.
Okay, so sorry to that other Adam.
Yeah, so other Adam, here's another thank you. Robert Sealand.
Oh, I like that last name.
Yeah, me too.
It's like I don't know.
Adrian Hisbrook.
Thank you, Adrian.
Ooh.
Not her book, his book.
Well done. Patty Cakes 123. Went for it on that one. Like it.
Like it.
Auden Madam.
I love that spelling.
Madam. I butchered that. Joel Harper, you know him.
Joel.
Yeah, you know Joel Harper. He wears trench coats.
Yep.
Zach Gibson, Maggie's favorite human. Garrett Cooper, thank you.
Thank you, Garrett.
Asking 7, you beautiful man. Yog Suthoff.
Thank you, y'all.
I feel like this is really sort of a gymnastics course for my mouth.
Yeah.
Benjamin Egan.
Thank you, Benjamin Egan.
Benjamin Egan. 10 children, minimum.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and
no
they're
doubt.
all short. On the short side.
Yeah. Pie Guy. Thank you, Pie Guy. Gage Jennings.
Gage Jennings.
Yes.
You're like both a Jeopardy champion and an assassin.
Definitely. How many bows and arrows do you think this guy's got up in his room? Dozens?
Dozens.
Yeah, minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum dozens. Ryan, thanks.
Thanks, Ryan.
PRN.
Thanks,
Probably a government? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Listening.
Pern. Albert Sykes.
Thank you,
Did
Albert.
you just tell PRN to stop listening?
Yeah.
Thank you, PRN.
You know, if they're part of the government. I don't
Thanks,
know.
Albert Sykes. Thanks, William Cooper.
William Cooper.
Thanks, Lord of Turtles.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
We're
so
getting
many of
big
you.
guns.
How do we have so many?
I don't know.
Kyle Schrotel. This is my favorite name. Every time Schrotel is an excellent name.
Showtime, Ultra Holiday.
Man, I wish my name was Shotel. That's a really fucking great name. Chris Potter.
Thank you, Chris.
Not overlooking you.
No.
B plus in math minimum. Chris Potter, B plus minimum. Could have been A minus easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. Laura Billinge.
Ooh, you sound
Yeah.
like you.
She sounds elegant.
Yeah, you're like a cool girl in France,
But
and like
she's
I want you to take me out.
She's like poured into a night dress, like an evening dress, you know?
Yeah.
She looks like a
acts she's
champagne
over
glass.
It, but she's like whispering to me about who everyone is in the room. Yeah.
So you're on a date and she's gossiping with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is like a lesbian bestie, is what this is, right?
Oh, aren't they all?
I guess they are. I'm learning facts. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Harrison Halverson.
Harrison Halverson.
It's a great name.
Aw.
Not applicable. Sure.
Great.
I like
NA.
it. Yeah. Nolan McLean. Thank you, sir.
Nolan.
Daniel Christensen. Ah, wonderful. Care Bear.
Care
Welcome.
Bear.
Thank you,
Aw,
Care Bear.
thank you, Carrie.
Phoenix Dream.
Beautiful.
Ooh.
I wish I had a nightmare last night. It was weird.
Is that about a phoenix?
No.
You just want to talk about a dream?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I guess it made me think of it.
It's only been an hour and 20. Let's hear about that dream.
It's not even that interesting. I was just trapped. It had been a long time since you had like a pure, like I was kidnapped.
Oh, you had
trapped.
a fear dream.
Yeah, it was scary. Will was not. Usually Will's in my dreams, and usually I have lucid dreams.
Yeah.
Will was not there. It was not lucid, and I was trapped, and I had to escape.
Did he wake you up?
No.
He was just like tough dreaming, huh?
Yeah.
You woke up.
Sorry.
Tough dream.
Tough dream. Sorry about that.
Sorry. Bad dream. Sorry. Absurd Marvel. I agree.
Yeah.
Not only am I grateful, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Adamantium Jello.
Yeah.
That's your favorite. Lauren Cucci, right?
Lauren Cucci.
Is it Cucci?
It's Cucci.
Okay. I'm not mispronouncing it, right?
No.
Lauren Cucci. Okay.
I'm sure it is.
Lauren Cucci.
Yeah.
What a hero.
What a hero. Thank you.
Aaron Burr.
Aaron Burr.
I know, we love him.
Yes.
We love him so much.
You know.
John Ford,
The
famous director, back from the grave.
Yes.
Yeah, we got a lot of ghosts this week.
Yeah.
The ghost of Dave Thomas, for instance.
Speaking of.
Kingdom of Fish.
Those are my people.
Yeah, I assumed.
So just thank them and don't question
Thank
me.
him. Don't ask about how the aristocracy works.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And don't ask who's in charge.
Jeff Mills. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jeff.
And Delia Brown.
Delia Brown.
She seems like she
you.
solves mysteries, right?
Absolutely.
Like she needs her own like novels, like
Yeah.
young adult novel series about her.
Right. She's like the girl that, I text to ask anything and she knows
What if she's
the answer.
okay? What if she's Encyclopedia Brown's grandson, daughter,
Dang.
solving mysteries just like him?
Dang,
Delia.
Dang, Delia.
Well, that's the whole show. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hey,
Yeah.
happy holidays to all of you.
Happy holidays.
Whatever
with
holiday you
family or
celebrate.
without.
Yeah.
Just know that we're there
If
with you.
just know we're your sound
In
family.
the nebulous
Yeah.
ether.
We really are.
Yeah.
Hey, if you can't see your family this year, just know we're all in it together. Look forward to your next time with your family. Supposedly, we're all going to get shots pretty soon.
I would love to be shot.
Yeah.
With whatever they're cooking up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just put it in my
put it
veins.
in.
Yeah. And those of you who are fortunate enough to see your family, enjoy it.
Enjoy it. Hold
Savor
them
it.
tight.
Hey, really though, savor it.
Yeah.
This is a special time. And we'll see you all on the other side. Farewell.
Bye.
This has been a Small Beans endeavor. We're a bunch of pals who make podcasts, sketches, music, web series, and movies. The Beans always have new ideas percolating, so make sure to check us out at patreon.com/smallbeans. That's patreon.com/smallbeans, where you can browse all of our current and past content, see what we've got planned in the future, and learn how your support can help the small beans grow into huge, giant monster beans. If you enjoyed this content module, please like, rate, subscribe, or tell a friend about us. We love you!